Hello, my name is Green and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, and today I'm going to start off by making some sweet changes to the bottom layer. Now, last episode I talked about the Nether portal. Now, I've been currently using that one over there, but I talked about putting it right on the top of the base. I even put a card on it to vote on it, and I've changed my mind. Basically, in short, I have actually changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that, it's okay. And I'm actually going to get rid of this tube here, because I've got one here and one here also, although I've never actually filled this one up. And I'm going to put the Nether portal right there. Now, I actually agree with you guys that the portal ideas up there looked really cool. They looked really, really cool. But I realized I would never actually use it. I think I even talked about that. So we're going to put one here. But I also want to put a little bit of a decoration over here as well. So before we get started into the meat of today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of housework. Yeah, I know, you got to do a bit of chores every now and again. But at the end of it, this place should start looking a little bit cleaner. And we're going to start off by making a big G, because that's me. And we're going to decorate it slightly as well. So we've got a big G here, and I'm also going to link it up with some end rods. Now, that's the best way I could come up with to light this up as best as I could, because putting torches here, as we can tell in the base, it doesn't look very good. But end rods, they kind of work with the whole theme that I've got going on here, the futuristic theme. The only problem is they are rather expensive to make, and they don't always fit, but for this particular part of the build, I think it works really well. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. The G's all linked up, it's got a nice amount of light around it, and that's the first thing that you're going to see when you come out of this portal here. You'll just see the giant G, although that beacon is totally in the way, but I think it works nonetheless. I do use this funnel here occasionally, but I have a feeling that I will use the Nether portal a whole bunch more than this. And most of the time I fly out of my base anyway. So we've got to take down this, which has actually been here a really long time, this water funnel. But I think once I've got this portal in, you will all agree with me that this was necessary. Because if I had to use the portal that would be all the way up here, that's how long I'd have to use 4 or 5 rockets just to use my Nether portal. And I can't see that happening. And plus, I kind of like the way that it looks here, where there's nothing there. It kind of gives it a little bit more height, I feel. So, yeah. And I also played around with a few ideas to decorate these bits, but most of those failed as well. So I'm not going to try and force anything. That's the main thing with this base. I've got to let it come naturally. This second ring, that came naturally, and I think it looks really cool. But for the top, I think I'm going to leave it for now. And decorating all this bit, I'm going to leave it for now as well. But I also, if you didn't notice, spent a lot of time singing Pickles on the Seafloor, and I have lit up most of this area. It's amazing what Pickles can do to make the underwater scene look absolutely magnificent. So I'm going to basically continue lighting this up for as long as I can be bothered and see what that looks like. I've cleaned out this area now, and I'm going to make where the portal is going to go. So that's where the portal's going to go, but obviously that's not very well decorated. And I am basically I'm not going to turn this on because it's going to be so loud. But I'm going to try and decorate it the best I can. So I think I'm going to put like a framework around it. Because it's so inset, I think this could work really well. But also try and make it connect up to what I've already got here. Whoa, where did you come from? What the heck? Oh, goodness. I also just realized that's not even in line. That is so wonky. How did I miss that? There we go. That's fixed that up. That's much better. I can't believe I didn't see that. Okay, let's focus on this. I like where it's going, but making this work at the top, this decoration thing, isn't going so well. But I think it could also do with an architect logo, if I'm being honest. So make a big A-frame out of quartz, and then we take some slabs, and I think we connect up. I think I did something wrong here. Oh, wow. You know, haste is so good, at the same time it's so annoying. I think you connect up these ones and replace this. Like that. I believe that is how it's done. I think we've got a pretty good looking portal there, actually. This could work well. Now, this kind of abruptly stops, and that's not very good looking, unless I remove that. Or I could bring it round with another layer, but I don't really want to have to do another layer all the way round, so maybe just this side? I don't know. Maybe let's take a look what that looks like. Or I'm just creating even more ledges for the mobs to spawn on, making my base has kind of been mob-free for a while, but as I keep building, they keep coming back. There we go. That looks pretty decent, I must admit. Now, all there left is to do is to actually light it. Now, where do I... Look at this mess. I can't find anything here, ever. Oh, there we go. Flint's... I will find it. It's an organised mess. But look how much I've collected here. Just sand, terracotta, gravel. Like, there's just so much stuff here. I've been really grinding away. Alright, 3, 2, 1. It's like the Christmas lights. Boom! And we have our new portal. I think that looks pretty good. I really do need to put something up in between those. But other than that, I think that looks really nice. It makes it look way more official. Now, if you got rid of all the rubbish that I've got on each side, I think that would look even better. I think we should start considering that I need to clean up. It's like I haven't tidied my bedroom for like 4 months. Time to get rid of this little portal here because we now have an official one. Alright, I got some sea lanterns. We're going in. Ow. Okay, I was trying to place that and just fly away. There we go. That has placed the sea lantern exactly where it needs to be. And that's it pretty much. I could put the sea lantern here where the other one is. Like, there we go. I think that looks pretty decent, actually. I won't complain at all. I think that this stuff needs cleaning up, though. I'm really happy with that. I think that has improved the base a lot. I do need to clean up the rest of this place, but we'll get to that eventually. I can probably start with all of these pumpkins, to be fair. And we're going to set Jack Skellebone free as well. I think he should be allowed to roam around as he pleases. I don't think he can escape or get stuck, but I haven't really been using him a lot, so I think he should at least be allowed to free roam. Now that we've done some house chores, we can get on with some of the things that we really need to do today. And it does include a bit more building, but one of those things is that someone... Oh, where have I put him? I've lost my heads again. No, here they are. Alright, don't you hate it when you just lose your head constantly? Right, so I have got another stack and a bit of green heads, but instead of just placing them around on the server, I thought I could do sort of a special kind of event. I'm going to hide a big green head somewhere in the world, and I'm going to fill it to the brim with some of these heads that I've got. Ah, now I remember why you were put away. You like to stand exactly where I need to be. He's like a cat. He has to stand on the keyboard. Now, obviously, I can't show you where I'm going to go on camera, but hopefully when I'm there, you won't be able to recognize it. Now, why on earth has Scar put in this here? Why is there a random floating nether quartz? What is this about? I kind of want to get rid of it, but I also want to know what this is about. Alright, let's go and find a place. As you can see, I've already placed a few, and I'm going to leave some hints or riddles about where they might be. Clearly, wherever I'm hiding it, it's definitely underground, but I could genuinely be anywhere on the server right now, and that's the whole point. You guys have a bad habit of letting the other hermits know where stuff is, because you want to see them, understandably, you want to see them do whatever it is that I've set up. But this time, it's a secret, so I'm going to hide maybe 20 or 30 green heads in this one location, and I'm going to leave a riddle. If you can figure out the riddle by yourself, then by all means tell the other hermits. Unfortunately, this means digging out a very big hole without a beacon, and I'm starting to realise quite how much I rely on my beacon. And of course, I've got to build a giant green head so that they know that they've found the right place. So I think the best way to do this was to try and build it as I was going along. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Since this is only temporary, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. but we are going to put a bunch of green heads here. So that this is a decent prize for anyone, and this could be the difference between winning the game and losing the game. So that's about 20 green heads here, and they would have to work to find where this is. Now it's time to leave a riddle back in the shopping district so people have a chance to find it. And while I'm at it, I might as well place a few more green heads because I've got a few left over. So I've done one of my riddles. Hopefully people will figure this out. I think this one is personally the easiest one, and I think a lot of you will immediately get it. So, green head riddle. Inside the spherical bone that lives red stone, you will need to go inside the cutlery that sits above the plate with pride. Alright? Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's go and make another one real quick. No, I'm writing the riddle! Why are you here? Go! You know what? Scar's shop is an absolute death trap. Scar, how many times have I said to you, light this place up? It's an absolute nightmare. Honestly. Now this is where I left my underground one. So, the green head riddle. From night to day, but never day to night, seek beneath the Tower of Fright. Now, I hope that that is vague enough for people to figure out, maybe, or maybe it's too vague. It's probably not the best riddle in the world, but if you can figure it out, it will be worth something. I'm going to keep the rest of these green heads, I think, maybe place a couple more here or there, but other than that, I think I'm going to keep these in case I want to make another little green riddle. Depends how easily people find it. If people find those green heads, I've left 2 locations with a decent amount of green heads in them. Now, if the hermits figure out where they are within a couple of days, I'm going to give away these 17 of them in a way more difficult riddle. I'm not very good at coming up with riddles, but I thought it would be a fun way instead of just putting them around everywhere and hoping that everyone finds them. And as I talked about this before, I've come up with the greatest plan for this area, and oh my goodness, is it still a mess in here. But I think that's what we're going to time-lapse now, but I don't think that I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm up to, because this is kind of a long-term project, but it's not my project. You have to understand that. It's not my project. It's the man in the chicken costume. Alright, let's get into it. I'm afraid that this time-lapse might be a little bit on the disappointing side, and I'm going to keep it very, very short, just 1 minute long. And 1 minute is not very long at all, considering this was 3 hours of work that you're about to see. Well, not even 3 hours. Look, listen, this was like the biggest fail. Not only did I forget to press F1 so you can see the chat, but my laptop wasn't plugged in properly into the power socket, and so it ran out of battery halfway through. So I'm like turning around and I see it going bidding, and I'm like, no, I'm frantically trying to plug it back in, and it was too late. It had gone dead, and I lost about an hour and a half's worth of footage. But as you can see, I am slowly turning this cave into a cave. I know, right? Very creative. So this box that was a total mess, this hole that I haven't had anything to do with for a while, I'm going to turn it into a very man-made cave, so it will look quite ovular in shape. But when I'm finished, well, the thing is, I didn't actually finish because it took so long to make, and I really wanted to get this video finished, so I kind of had to cut it short, and it's okay, I will be able to do these sorts of things in various parts. And there's even more bad news. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to finish the whole time-lapse, but as you can see, I've made some pretty decent progress. Now, what I've done here is not how it might look when it's going to be finished, but I've got a very basic shape to this cave. I need to put a load of staircases, slabs, and details in, and the shape's not quite finished, especially in the corners. All of those bits where you have to go really high up. Man, I seriously kind of regret this now because this is such a large project. I was time-lapsing for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I really thought I would finish by now, but if I want to get this video out, I've got to cut this one short, so we'll continue this little time-lapse in the next episode because this is critical. I can't express enough how important this room is. But I've also got some pretty terrible news, everybody. Just after I stopped recording to make that time-lapse, I have this annoying habit when I play Hermitcraft As soon as I stop recording, I hit the off and then I go and tab out and press all my doohickamajigs to stop everything recording. And then I forget to log out, okay? And this happened just after I said, let's go do that time lapse. And I came back and I was gone. I had died to a zombie because I forgot to log out. And so, I lost everything. And I mean everything. I lost my helmet, elytra, trousers, and I had to spend an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, getting everything back. But I took that opportunity to really try and buff up my stuff again. But oh goodness, if you've ever lost all your stuff in Minecraft, you know how annoying it is. But I've got some pretty decent stuff now. I could probably do a bit more, but my boots in particular. And I've now actually renamed everything, so this is the GS machine, and the GS is the gravel and sand machine, because that's basically what I use it for. I upgraded that to efficiency 5, fax machine, back in action, exactly the same as it was, and sword. I was feeling, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling so downhearted after losing everything. I didn't even have a good name for my sword, so it's just called sword. And then I got the axe machine, which is a pun on the fax machine. And I haven't actually finished enchanting that one again. But then I got the silk machine, which is slightly better than the other one. So, yeah, I've got all my stuff back now. But do you know what's really weird? Mumbo also lost all of his gear because he was killed by a phantom while he was AFK. Architects and AFK is not a good idea. But he's pretty bummed out because he lost something that he couldn't replace. And that was a trident. Not just any trident, his Riptide trident that he was ripping on quite a lot. So I've got one for him here. I had a load of spare tridents because I've been really lucky with them. And I've enchanted it all up and I've renamed it. It is called the Fork of Friendship. And I'm going to give it to him. And he is currently AFK. As you might expect, he's even made an extra layer of protection. So Mumbo lost his stuff because he made a box that looked like this. And the phantoms spawned in their millions, and then they went through here and managed to damage him through the whole box. So I think the only logical thing here is to... I mean, Mumbo, if you're going to go AFK... You know, he's even put a chest with all his stuff on it. So yeah, you know, if you go AFK, Mumbo, I'm gonna mess with you. And I think he's AFK because he has made a pretty nifty creeper farm. So how's it doing? Oh wow. Yep, that's a fair amount of gunpowder. I'm enjoying that. Okay, Mumbo, I've trapped myself in here with you, and I'm gonna leave the Fork of Friendship right there. But I kind of want to leave a sign for you. No, wait, I don't even need to leave a sign. I'll just leave a green head there. He's gonna know. Maybe I should make it very clear who left this. There we go. Yep, I think that's very clear who left this in here. I really hope that Mumbo goes AFK here again for longer, because, oh boy, if he does this often because of the gunpowder thing, oh, I'm totally gonna mess with him all the time. Well, that was a nice deed that I did, and I'm hoping that he hasn't already got himself a Riptide Trident, because I did go through the effort of getting that for him. Man, when you lose your stuff, it is not fun at all. And there's a random nether portal that's appeared on my giant ring. Where does this go to? Wait, this goes to my nether portal. The heck? Something's not right here. Well, this goes back to my base. Man, the nether's so confusing. What's going on? So, does this one take me back exactly there? What the heck? Okay, maybe there's another portal hidden somewhere that someone used? No? Maybe this one? Where does this portal go? Well, this is Mumbo's portal. How the heck have we got a mysterious portal arriving here? That makes no sense. Oh, I see you are using the system as well. This is so strange. There must be a rogue portal somewhere. There absolutely must be. Well, this doesn't make much sense at all. Alright, well, I guess we'll just get rid of it. We'll never understand the mystery of the portal. So anyway, that's it for today's episode, I'm afraid, everybody. I lost all my gear. I have tidied up the base a little bit. I even got rid of that. When all this is clear, imagine how nice this is going to look. I've added a new nether portal right here, which is somewhat of a downgrade from the plans that I had up there, but I think this is going to be used a little bit more. We did a gigantic time lapse of the little cave down there, and we set up a couple of green head riddles. Actually, speaking of which, has anyone donated more gems? Oh, legends. Okay, the green head hunt continues, everyone. I feel like I need to constantly be adding green heads into the system, or the game will just slow down a lot. Now, I don't know what's going on in the background, but I think some dodgy dealings are happening. And as far as I'm aware, it's all fair game, to be honest. Oh, okay, yeah, we got one riddle here, and we got one riddle there. I don't know if anyone's found them, but we are going to go and add a few more heads to the game. And that's it for today. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope you're going to look forward to the secrets of the new cave that I'm going to be making. So our feathered friend may make a return. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And goodbye.